Tim Hortons is the best case study in how to ruin a brand.
On the Trudeau, we have St. Hortons.
What has happened to Tim Hortons? I need someone to explain the downfall of Tim Hortons to me.
How is a small iced coffee?
I'm never having a Tim's donut ever again.
Apologies. I'll go make you another one. Hey, could I get an ice cap, please? Double.
I got 2 orders of egg bites, 1 box.
This is part 2 in the downfall of Tim Hortons.
But let's be real. The coffee tastes like licking a car battery.
Tim Hortons is such a joke, and not for the reason why you think it.
Bro, let me tell you guys, nothing's fell off harder than Tim Hortons. Look, the fucking donut.
I'm just done with Tim Hortons. I'm just done with it. It's over. I'm just done.
Welcome to Canadian Rant, where we don't just sip coffee, we spill the truth. Tim Hortons, once a cherished piece of Canadian culture, a cozy stop where we'd gather, connect, and enjoy a double-double with pride. But today, that pride is gone. Now, needles in the bathrooms, flies swarming donuts, terrible food complaints stacking up, health alerts issued. One Ontario location exposed patrons to hepatitis A after a food handler tested positive. Canadians are turning on the brand. The chain they stood by for decades now faces anger and backlash for losing its roots. Today we're asking, what happened to the giant? How did a symbol of Canadian identity become a cautionary chapter in business failure? Let's dig in.
Tim Hortons is the best case study in how to ruin a brand. They had what was the easiest business model, selling Canadiana, nostalgia, simple food with old grandmas working behind the counter. You would walk in, they would greet you, they would know your name, they would know your order, and it felt like you were back in your hometown. Now you go in and it's like you're walking into Domino's. They have pizza. Canadians in general have a low bar for what they want in terms of customer experience, and they aren't very vocal about it. So when Canadians are getting vocal about something, you know it is really bad. You go to Tim Hortons now and the staff don't want to be there. Behind the counter is dirty. They are rude. They are curt. They barely understand you. You barely understand them. It is a horrible experience, and the food makes you have instant lot of shits and diarrhea. So here's my proposal. Let's get some of the girls and guys together. Let's go ask dad for some money. Let's raise some funds. Let's buy country style because frankly, country style is just as bad. Let's transform it into what Canadiana should be. Simple food, good food, old grandmas working behind the counter. A great experience. Simple, no pizza. Let's do it.
Bro, let me tell you guys, nothing's fell off harder than Tim Hortons. Look, the fucking donut. The thing all fell off. I go there, wallah, I'm pissed off because the motherfuckers don't speak English at the drive-thru. This is $3 for this. Tastes bad. Customer service is bad. And they got nothing else. Inventory gone. Listen, I used to fucking boycott Starbucks before everybody boycotted Starbucks, and Starbucks was shit. I used to be like, Tim Hortons, Now it's not Tim Hortons anymore. You know what it is? It's Tim Hortons now. Tim Hortons is Tim Hortons. Back in the day, you get Stacy, Laura, Rachel. Now you go, motherfuckers don't speak English. Tim Hortons fell off harder than your mother, okay? I hate Tim Hortons now. The guy at Tim Hortons, he died. He's rolling in his grave, bro. Poor bastard. He didn't envision it to be like this, bro. What is this, bro? This looks like your mom's punani, bro. Astaghfirullah. Oh my.
Late night Tim Hortons order. Open that one, Gabe. That's supposed to be a Boston cream.
Nothing in it.
Where the heck's the cream?
Boston. Canadian maple. Nothing in it.
Nothing.
What about this one?
It's
Nothing.
Boston cream. Nothing in it.
Here to go, Timmy's. You suck again.
What has happened to Tim Hortons? I need someone to explain the downfall of Tim Hortons to me right now. Because it's embarrassing. Look, I used to have dreams as a kid to be old enough to get myself all the double-doubles I wanted because they just tasted that good. And here I am, living the dream of ordering a double-double and getting watered-down mud in return. And the crazy part is, that's not even the worst part. The drive-thrus, what have you done? I'm driving to get myself my watered down mud. They're telling me, please come through and park. What are you talking about? The whole point of a drive-through is so I don't put my car in park. Brother, it's a coffee. Hand me the cup. Just hand me, it's a coffee. Hand me the cup.
This will probably be an unpopular opinion, but as a Canadian, I can't stand Tim Hortons. Everyone acts like it's our national treasure, but let's be real. The coffee tastes like licking a car battery. The donuts aren't what they used to be. And it went from being a coffee and donut shop to a tiny McDonald's. Who the hell wants to sit in a drive-thru at Tim Hortons for 20 minutes because you're waiting for two people ahead of you to get their flatbread pizzas? Ugh, it's just so frustrating. I don't know. Maybe it's just me getting old and complaining. I just feel like the nostalgia of Tim Hortons has gone out the window. I don't know. Any other Canadians agree? If so, leave your comments below.
I don't know how I never noticed this. I just got a small iced coffee. How is a small iced coffee more expensive than a large regular coffee? It's coffee, but just with ice in it. I understand ice caps being more expensive. Can someone just explain that to me? I don't get it.
This is how cheap Tim Hortons is now. I got 2 orders of egg bites, 1 box. They won't even give you 2 boxes now for 2 separate orders.
Here's your coffee, just the way you like. What do you want on your pizza? Is that not how you ordered it? Apologies, I'll go make you another one. Hey, could I get an ice cap, please? Double. No, I said ice cap. 1 double. Hey, there's someone doing drugs in the bathroom. Oh my god, that never happens here. I'll go call the police. Hey, there's a bunch of people doing fent in the bathroom. You might want to go check it out. Hello? Excuse me? What the? Tell them to save me some.
Seriously, Tim Hortons, you can't even make a sandwich right. Is the cheese not supposed to be on the sandwich? Oh boy, can't make this up, boy.
Got some bad news, Canadians. Before Trudeau, we had Tim Hortons. Under Trudeau, we have St. Hortons. What the hell is going on? We need help.
I don't know if I'm gonna cry or throw up. It might be both. I just wanted my coffee and my donut. I went to Tim's, I got my coffee, I got my apple fritter, and I came home and I was consuming that like a normal person. And I was eating the donut and there was something hard in the donut and I was like, that's not normal. It's a fingernail. Oh my god, I found it with my teeth and it's look at it, it's clearly a fingernail. And it was in my mouth. And it's not mine. It was baked in. I gave the rest of the donut to the dog. She was happy. I'm never gonna recover from this. I'm never having a Tim's donut ever again.
This is part 2 in the downfall of Tim Hortons. A lot of people in my last video were asking me, if they're falling so hard, if their customer experience is so bad, how are their revenues still growing? Well, I'm going to show you how. There are really 3 core reasons why their revenue continues to grow. Number 1 is the franchise model itself. Number 2 is entrenchment in the market. And number 3 is Canada's population growth. You have to remember that Tim Hortons is really in the franchise model. As long as they continue to open up locations, they continue to get a profit of the products sold, Tim Hortons will continue to do so. It's a very easy model. You pop up a new location because Tim Hortons has a boatload of cash, take a percentage of the profits, and you continue to rinse and repeat the same model. The second reason is probably the biggest, which is the overall entrenchment in the market. It is very hard if you're a new coffee shop to open up to displace Tim Hortons because you would need a full-time person to search for real estate, to find suitable locations for your store. And even if you do that, Tim Hortons can pop up next door and the brand familiarity will just take all of your customers. Most Canadians are familiar with Tim Hortons. They know what they offer, they know where they are, and they know they're open pretty much all the time. If you're on the road, you go into the drive-thru. I myself would love to continue shopping at mom and pop shops, but it is inconvenient when you're driving in the morning and you're looking for somewhere to stop. They aren't open and they don't have drive-thru. So from the convenience element alone, Tim Hortons will continue to win. So just to summarize this section, it's expensive to start up a competitor, Tim Hortons is everywhere, and they have drive-thrus, and then they're open early as well. These 4 factors alone will mean Tim Hortons will always capture a certain percentage of the market. Canada has added a lot of people over the past few years, so as long as the population continues to grow and Tim Hortons opens new restaurants, their revenue will continue to grow. But I also want to use this as a case study because the Hudson's Bay Company was growing until they weren't. This is not a great long-term strategy. What matters over the long term is how people perceive your brand, your food, and your customer experience. And Tim Hortons regularly, according to third parties, scores lower in the NPS score category. And the NPS score means your net promoter score, how likely someone is to refer you to their friends. Tim Hortons scores below Starbucks. Their food quality scores low as well. So eventually this will play out. Now, the only thing that Tim Hortons has to its advantage is its brand name, it's everywhere, and it's very hard and low margin to start a coffee shop. So perhaps they will always be here, or perhaps someone will come in like the Dutch Bros are in Vancouver to take their place. Only time will tell, but the fact that they're making revenue does not mean that their product is all of a sudden superior and that their customer experience is world-class. They're entrenched, they had the franchise model, it's expensive to start up, and of course, the population continues to grow in Canada.
Tim Hortons, like, seriously, what is going on anymore in Canada? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I worked there when I was 15, 16 years old. You know what it was? Everything was clean. The bathrooms were clean, stocked. Every time I go in there, it's disgusting. My own daughter, who's 3, walked in today and said, "Ew, mommy, what's that smell?" Like, that's embarrassing. Like, what is going on with you as a corporation that nothing can go right anymore when it's literally all you do is give customer service and food? Like, these employees know nothing. When I worked there, when I was 15 and 16 years old, our primary thing was if we weren't busy, you were cleaning, you're mopping, you were sweeping, you're making sure that everything was stocked, you're making sure that everything was good to go, and that the customer service came first. Now, I got laughed at today when I asked for my 2 ice caps that I bought, and I spent $15 there on 3 drinks and a Timbit today. And I got laughed at when I said, they brought it out and it was up to that line right there, and So I send back the ice caps. I literally hand the tray back and I said, those ice caps are literally liquid, not ice cap. And they're also not even filled. So why did I just spend over $4 on some ice caps for it not to be done right? Like, this is a customer service thing. Yes, it's just a drink at the end of the day, but I'm getting in my car. I'm going to drive to this establishment to get really crappy customer service and then not the proper drinks made. And then I have to drive back or just throw it out. And like, I just wasted my money, but you as a corporation gets to keep yours. That's crazy to me. So anyway, so I say to the 3 people sitting in the drive-through doing my order, I send it back. They send it back to me. I said, this is unacceptable. He literally gives it back and says, this is to policy. I said, what's your policy? He said, we can't do any more than that. Like, that's it. I said, this ice cup is liquid. It's not even it's not how it normally would be like that. For everybody knows what an ice cup is. I don't need to explain to Canadians watching this right now. So he says to me, oh, it's policy. That's all I can do. My manager will get mad. I said, we've all worked at Tim Hortons at some point in our lives. And back in the day, this isn't how it was. And he goes, oh, you must have worked for a good manager then, because our manager doesn't allow to change anything with that ice cap. What does that even mean? I said, no. I said customer service and the way things were done back in the day were done right. You know what he did? Laughed at me. You know what would have happened back in the day, even though I'm 31 years old? We would have gotten written up, a very large talking in the manager's office, and then you would have felt like an idiot because you made that person's day crappy. Now, I'm not one to hold energy. I'm not going to. I'm actually letting it out right now on the camera. So then that way, Tim Hortons can hear this in the rest of Canada, because I know that people are going to want to hear this, and they all feel the same way. So why don't you guys all share in your comments your latest situations with Tim Hortons in Canada? I'd love to hear it myself.
You know, I kind of struggle with some things, and this is the mindset I'm at, and this is what just pisses me off about this stupid ass company. Tim Hortons is such a joke, and not for the reason why you think. It's trending because, you know, they hire East Indians and they're always messing up orders apparently. But I've been going to Tim Hortons since the 90s, and my orders have been messed up long before this hiring process. So, you know, if you're just on here complaining about Tim Hortons because they keep messing up your order these days and you're blaming immigrants, you're just an ass. However, I'm complaining today because I'm in Belleville. I'm on my way to pick up my son, and my daughter Sophia, has passed away. She loved the chocolate glazed donut. That's a staple donut. And this stupid Tim Hortons right here at the Bridge in Sydney Square in Belleville. I go to ask for a chocolate glazed donut, and they said, we're sorry, we don't carry that donut anymore. And this is a first world problem. But you know what? I felt Sophia today, and I wanted to do something to honor her memory. And she loved these donuts. She used to get one every day after school. Whether it was me picking her up, her mom picking her up, or her grandma picking her up. Tim Hortons, what the hell are you doing? Like, you've completely lost the plot. That we can't even go and get a chocolate glaze, one of the main donuts that built this brand, outside of a cup of coffee, which tastes like ass. Such a joke. People need to stop going to this company. People need to stop going to this company. They're not Canadian anymore. They don't care. They don't care. They literally don't listen to customers. What do you want? We just want a good cup of coffee and a donut. Cool, have a panini that we're going to discontinue in 2 years. Alright, Tim's customers, we're listening. What is it that you want? It's a good cup of coffee and a donut. Okay, here's a burger. Alright, Tim's customers, we're listening. Now that we've discontinued that, let's get back to our roots. Absolutely. Alright, we're going to bring back some of the original donuts, but we're going to call them classic donuts or whatever, retro donuts. And there's going to be an upcharge. Because we don't know how to read the room. Alright, Tim Hortons customers, we're listening. What can we do for you? I just want a good cup of coffee and a good donut. Alright, well, we're the Bridge in Sydney Square location, and we're just going to discontinue one of the most popular menu items. First world, and this is where I'm at. She passed 3 weeks ago. She passed 3 weeks ago, and I don't even know if what I'm saying makes any sense. I hate this company. Tag them with everything that you got, and just stop going here. Stop filling their pockets. This is ridiculous.
I'm pissed. So I felt like a coffee by having a coffee. So I have all these gift cards. So I went to Tim Hortons to go get a coffee. It's a bit late. It's like 3 a.m. So I pulled up to the drive-thru. No one said anything. I waited a bit. No one said anything. Waited a bit. Figured they might have been busy, right? Because it's nighttime. It's 3 a.m, right? So eventually, she comes up, like she comes on and she says, yes. No hi, nothing, just yes. I'm like, hi, I'm like, hello, can I grab a double-double? And then she goes, and what else? I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right. I was like, no, nothing else, that'll be all. Didn't say a word, not pull to the window, nothing. So I pulled over to the window, and she was making the coffee, whatever. Didn't really acknowledge me until like she made it, which I guess makes sense. So she comes to the window, she hands me a coffee. So then I grabbed it and I realized it just felt cold, right? It wasn't like ice cold, like this is ice cold, but like that was for a coffee, for an actual coffee. That was cold, and I'm there going, it didn't have a sleeve or anything, so it still should be fairly warm. And doesn't Tim Hortons make a new batch of coffee every 15 minutes? So I figured it should still be cold. So I was like, whoa, this is a bit cold. So I'm like, something wrong with this? So then, I looked at her and I'm like, hey, I think this is pretty cold, right? Like I didn't order a cold drink, right? Like, and then she goes, no, maybe there's, I'm like, no, you can feel it for yourself. So I give it to her, right? So she looks at it and she goes, oh, I don't know what happened. And I'm in my head going, what do you mean you don't know what happened? You serve coffees all day. Like, you should know that is cold. Like, but I'm like, you know what? I kept that to myself. I work in the customer service. I kept it to myself. So she's like, I'll make you a new cup. I said, yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's okay. I don't want it. You know what? Don't even worry about the refund. It's gift card. I don't even care. I don't want it. rolled up my window, drived off. So then I went across the street and I went to McDonald's. Should have went there anyways. Their customer service is way better, at least better than that location. They have a better coffee anyways. I don't even mind getting a fake smile. I don't. I do it every day. I don't even mind getting a fake smile. Shit, I don't even mind getting a smile at all. But either way, got my coffee. I kept it. You know what? I was safe this time because I didn't want to I thought it might have been my night, you know? You're just having one of those nights, those days. So I ordered a cold drink. So I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna take the risk. Maybe hot drinks at 3 a.m. in the morning isn't the way to go. So I got a cold drink. Even got a smile. A thank you, goodbye. So yeah, I'm over Tim Hortons. I'm just over it. You know, I should have learned from the last time when I ordered a bagel with cream cheese, and the girl put the cream cheese on one side of the bagel and left the other side completely plain. I should have learned from that one time, but I said, you know what? Mistakes happen, and you shouldn't really just judge something off one incident. Well, I'm done. And I know it's at one location, and it might just be crap, but I'm done. I'm just done with Tim Hortons. I'm just done with it. It's over. I'm just done. But at least I got my coffee, right? Till next time.
We've witnessed the decline. From bustling cafes to complaints about hygiene, identity and trust have crumbled. The Tim Hortons of yesterday is fading, replaced by a brand Canadians feel has abandoned them. Once beloved, now marred by scandals, overseas ownership, and quality control issues. Health warnings, cultural betrayal, a brand that represented Canada being sold out. This isn't just about coffee or donuts. It's about the collapse of something bigger. The erosion of national pride, the loss of a community symbol, and how corporate greed and neglect can hollow out our icons. When a company loses its goodwill, it loses everything. And the lessons will be taught in schools someday. How Tim Hortons fell from symbol to scandal. Let that sink in. So what's the message? Trust is fragile. Culture is real. And when you build on identity but ignore integrity, you'll lose both. If you feel this loss, if you remember the way it was, share this video, comment your memories, and subscribe to Canadian Rant, because we don't just observe decline, we expose it. The story of Tim Hortons isn't just theirs anymore, it's ours. It's a warning, and it reminds us we deserve brands, businesses, and cultures that honor us, not exploit us. This is Canadian Rant. Speak truth, demand better, stay loud.